Today we're making pie dough with a food processor. Before you watch this, you should get familiar with Baking Measures 101. Are you comfortable weighing your ingredients? Good, let's get started. Let's cut up 10 ounces, that's 2.5 sticks, of cold unsalted butter into 1/4 inch slices. Don't try to take each butter piece off your knife. They'll get pushed up as you continue slicing. As the sticks get unstable in the end, tilt them over and finish slicing. Take the last few pieces carefully off the knife and make sure to include all the butter from your knife and board. Refrigerate this butter for at least 15 minutes before using. We have 7.5 ounces of all-purpose flour in the food processor. Let's add 2 teaspoons of Diamond Crystal Kosher salt, or 1 teaspoon table, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and pulse to combine. Add the cold butter and process with about 15 1-second pulses until the mixture resembles couscous or cornmeal. For anyone who is used to traditional pie dough technique, this will look over-processed. Normally, some chunks of butter are still left, since that's what gives the dough flakiness. The downside is that such non-homogeneous dough is harder to work with. The good news is that you can achieve fantastic flakiness without chunks of butter. Here is how. I have an additional 5 ounces of flour sitting in a bowl here. We'll toss it with our flour-butter mixture, and these two contrasting textures will create layers. Since no liquid went in yet, there is no worry about over-mixing at this point, and it's a good idea to be very thorough. I don't see any more white streaks of flour, so we're ready for wet ingredients. We'll use a mixture of 1/4 cup ice-cold water, careful not to get any ice cubes in, and 1/4 cup of chilled vodka. What's up with vodka, you might ask? As you might have guessed, I'm Russian, and we put this stuff in practically everything. But sadly, I cannot take credit for coming up with this brilliant invention. It was Kenji Alt who came up with it while working at Cooks Illustrated. For a tender pie crust, you need to minimize both the liquid used and the kneading, since both of those develop a protein network through your dough, making it tough. That's called gluten development. That's where vodka comes in handy. Gluten doesn't develop in alcohol, so we can use a bit more liquid and a bit more kneading, making the dough easier to work with. Don't worry, you won't taste the booze. All this alcohol will evaporate in the oven and the results will be indistinguishable from a regular pie crust. Once no more loose liquid remains, this dough should stick together if you squeeze it with your hand. Let's get half of these clumps out of the bowl and start forming our first disc. You can fold it a few times, but try to minimize folding and instead squeeze and press. I'll flip the dough and try to pick up the loose bits with the other side. Just remember, it's you versus a lump of dough, so show it who's the boss. I'm firmly wiping the bowl with my dough to help attach everything that's falling out. Phew, it looks like I got most of it. So now I'm cupping it with my hands and shaping into a disc. Done! Let's wrap it in plastic. I'm making it tight to help bring the dough together. Now repeat with the second pile of clumps. Refrigerate this dough overnight and then it's ready to use. Each disc will fit a 9-inch pie pan or 11-inch tart pan. If you want all your baking to be easy as pie, don't forget to subscribe to Helen's Kitchen channel. And if you're ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.